Hey, what's going on? You're tapped in. It's another 180 creator interview. I'm your host, Teel, and I got another great guest, Jason Elliot. What's going on, man?
How's it going, man? How's it going?
Dude, so I just rewatched all the Ink Masters not too long ago. Like, not all of them, but I think I got to like season 14.
Oh, okay.
And then I got busy. And now, so then the lady.
Oh, Cassie.
Yeah. She hits me up and she's like, hey, possible interview, Jason Elliot. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, wait a minute now. And she said something about Ink Masters, and I was like, "Is that the Jason from the seasons I just watched?" And she was, so I went and I cut on. I went to Paramount and I cut on Ink Masters season 10. Bam, there it was, and I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, I watched your interview with Jessica, and I saw it posted on her page, and I watched it. It was great. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
and so she was watching it with me, and I went from there, and I just started watching another one. And I was like, I think a good's local, And she was like, oh, what is it? And I saw her like typing it on her phone, whatever. And she's like, yeah, Texarkana. I was like, okay, cool. And then a couple of days later, she's like, she was like, oh, by the way, how's Tuesday for you?
Yeah, so, that's awesome, man. We got to get the lowdown. We got to get the behind the scenes of Ink Masters. I got to know so many things. So you were on season 10 and season 13, right?
Yeah, I did a sideshow in between those two where it was just a single competition. But yeah, I did season 10 and season 13.
And was that Ink that was related to Ink Master? That was Ink Masters?
Yeah, it was. I think Ink Master Rivals, maybe, or something like that. Okay. Face Off or something.
I wonder if that's on Paramount.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
So somehow I missed that one. But so, how did you feel about how you came off on TV?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah. It's they ask you kind of like what, do you have more of a passive or aggressive personality? And I said, probably aggressive. I don't want to super passive. And they said, okay, so here's your options. Would you be more likely to want to play a dick? Or would you more likely just want to be like the good guy? And I was like, I don't want to be the good guy. That's not fun, So, they just, honestly, I was kind of just myself, like I would be with my friends that made like a lot of sarcastic banter and stuff. And I always ran my mouth and they loved it. Like, I got, they cut so many parts out with me in it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I had so much footage, So.
Yeah, they show you a lot.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, that's part of the show. It's like, there's a lot of, it comes from passion, right?
For sure. Yeah.
And the love of tattooing and stuff. So it's like when, I don't know, that's why you speak up and you just.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's about like because you have some people get real camera shy, and it's like, when you're in camera, you have like sometimes 15 cameras on you, and you got the Ronin and you just got to be like, they're like, you're looking in this direction and the guy comes like this close to your face and you can't ever look at the camera.
Did it ever affect you tattooing, like the cameras being up on you, or were you just always able to like laser focus in?
No, I don't, honestly, I didn't have any problem with it. Like, I don't know. I never experienced it before. And I thought that I would like struggle with it, stuff like that. But no, it never really, and they would get close. They'd have a camera this big and they would drop the machine and it would just be like right this in front of your face. And you just keep on tattooing.
So we're in the big open room, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody tattoos. How many cameras are in there? How many people are there?
There's like probably 4 men running like actual ones that have like the big crane arms and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's at least 6 to 10 people with actual just like regular cameras on their shoulders. And then you have probably 1 or 2 people with the Ronins,
Wow.
So
how often are the judges in the room? Because they're always in the room when you see them, or they just show up to be on TV, huh?
No, they show up probably like 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. They make one round around. They talk a little bit in the middle. You want to do that? Exactly. Yeah. Just enough. They're like, is that white? That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Did they ever say something to you? Did any of the judges ever say something to you in the middle of a tattoo that made you shift gears?
No, but they always said, because I like to make weird choices. And so they would definitely say
they were dropping hints.
Yeah. They would just be like, are you sure you want to do that? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. So
how do you feel about how they judge tattoos on there?
So, they judge them in their aspect. They can't really judge them outside that. Both of them are traditional tattooers. And so they're going to judge them based on that. And they're honest in the beginning. When we first get in the first day, the first critique, they tell us, they're like, listen, there's a lot of stuff you guys do we couldn't do. You guys are far ahead of us. That being said, we're not here to tell you guys what you did right. We're here to tell you everything you did wrong.
Yeah.
You're here to tell us what you did right.
Man, they find stuff sometimes.
Oh, you don't know. You have no idea.
So that's another question. How condensed are the judging?
What do you mean? How condensed?
Like how much is getting cut from when they tell you what's wrong with it?
Because when we stand up there, it's like 15 to 20 minutes a person.
Oh wow! So when at the beginning when there's all the people there, y'all are in there for like an hour or two?
No, it's all day.
All day.
So it takes 3.5 days to shoot one episode. So the first day that we shoot is Flash Challenge Day, and that takes all day long. Okay, so we do Flash Challenge Day. The second day is House Reality. We shoot like House Reality a little bit in the morning, which is basically just like, dialogue between everybody, stuff like that. And then later on that day, we go into critique, and that goes until the nighttime. Then we get done with critique, we come back, and then that is like more House Reality and stuff. And then we shoot House Reality the next day. And then they basically, that's when they do, Oliver does his walk up the stairs, and he always like stomps on the stairs to be dramatic, Yeah. And then that's when they pull people down and send them home. So, And then the half day that we have is interview day, which is basically all the commentary you see us do, like behind the drop screen and stuff. That's when they ask us like questions a lot. So is there times that you have to go back and pretend like you're in the moment? Like, because I feel like they do that on like Survivor and some of these other interview day you do. So interview,
you have to go pretend like you were.
They take the wardrobe that you wear when they shot that episode and they hang it up downstairs. You go downstairs, you put that wardrobe on, and then basically you got to get in the mindset that that's still happening. And sometimes the hard part is it's like interview takes so long because nobody likes doing interview day. Right. And it takes like 3-4 hours to do one episode. Interviews when they're and they interview everybody and they pick what they want to use. Right. And so, and nobody liked it. Like everybody hated interview day. So we go down there and sometimes like we would get backed up where we might be 6 episodes behind. And so we'd go down there and we'd have to put a wardrobe on, try to put ourselves in that mindset, go change,
pretend
wardrobe,
like you were back in the day.
Yeah. Like, well, how'd that make you feel? Like, were you mad? Like, and so, yeah, you got to go all the way back and try to remember like everything that went on.
So they probably do that on a lot of reality shows. Like when
sure
Survivor, they'll be talking about something that happened in the moment. They're off by their little tree and stuff. Yep. They did that later, huh?
So it's funny. So being on a reality show, I view reality shows way different now. So I see them and I can see all the different individual parts that made the show.
Wow. Yeah. So do you watch Survivor? You ever watch? I'm big on Survivor.
Okay, so not Survivor, and this is going to come off kind of lame, but I watch all the reality dating shows like Love is Blind, Married at First Sight.
Oh, that's not my wife watches.
I love them. Like I watch the crap out of them. But
that's stuff that I accidentally see, like being married.
No.
I sit on here and I'm like, man, it's some bullshit. And then I watch it. Then I'm like, what? Well, who does she like?
Exactly. And that's what happens. What's Love on the Spectrum? If you haven't seen Love on the Spectrum, it's amazing. Yeah, I love it. It's so genuine. That's what I like. It's like super. I got a new guy. Like I can't. What's his name? Conrad or Con? Anyways, he was on the last season. Mm-hmm. I love him. Like if I can meet him, it'd be fantastic. Like yeah, he's great.
Hey, well, we need to set that up. But no, so you see a show like that, and you can just start breaking down. This is how they probably did this. That's how they probably did that.
Yep.
Do you think is it the character? Well, I don't want to say this in a way, but do you think it was how good you tattooed, or was it the character you portrayed that maybe got you back to the next season, or was it a combination of both?
Both. I say both because like on the show I like to make a lot of erratic decisions. Sometimes it would pay off really well. Yeah. Sometimes not so well. But I ran my mouth the whole time. So I think that just being like that, like. People like loved me, but they hated me at the same time. I got so much hate mail. Like I was the first one to get hate mail. Yeah, we were in a group chat when the first episode dropped.
What about Josh Payne?
I got it before. He did. He laughed. He thought it was hilarious. But I got this girl sent me. It was like 7 paragraphs about how douchey and a dick I was, and we were all laughing.
Who has time for that?
She turned out that she was like a super fan.
Oh, and of like the show in general?
No, of me. Oh, like she was super at me, but she just wanted to get a response out of it. She got one. She didn't like it, but she got one.
Well, hey, you open a door, you don't know what's going to come through.
Exactly. Yeah. So I actually met her. She happened to be at like a local bar. Yeah. And I ran into her and I was like, because I stalked her. Like because
I'm
I
trying to figure out who sent me this.
Yeah, well,
book.
she sent me this thing, and we were all laughing about it in the group chat. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna look her up, and I found out that she was local. And she was covered in like homemade tattoos. So I sent her email back, and
you start roasting her?
I just reamed her ass, and she liked it. She liked it. I said that. So yeah. So then she wound up having like a weird girl crush, and I ran to her in her bar, and she was like super friendly, you know.
And so that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Oh man, hate mail. It has to happen though. So Josh, you got hate mail before Josh. I always seemed like he was like the first one that like asserted himself as like, at least from what TV showed.
No, Josh did. No. Okay, so I love Josh. Me and Josh are actually good friends. I'm gonna go visit him pretty soon and get a tattoo from him. But he, as soon as we got on there, he was like, well, everybody should know me. So I'd never heard of him because I don't really follow tattoo artists. And so I never heard of him. People were like, oh my God, Josh Payne's here. Josh Payne. I was like, I don't know. So anyways, but when he has that personality, he's like, I am Josh Payne, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a dick, but you still like him anyway.
Yeah. So he played his character. That's just him.
That is 100%.
So are most people on the show? Is that really? You're getting what they are a lot of times, or was there people that?
Sometimes some people are a little fake. I was actually let down. So when I first started tattooing, I followed one of the guys I was on the season with. He'd been tattooing for a long time, and I was a big fan. And when we didn't meet each other, we all got a hotel room, and they put us in the hotel room by ourselves, so we didn't see anybody. And then the first day of filming, they brought us all downstairs, and they're doing roll call, and they said this guy's name, and I was like, I turned around, I was like, wait,
so
like, are you like Juan Salgado? Like the real one?
The guy from where's he from?
Puerto Rico, yeah. And he was like, I am Juan. And I was like, like Juan Salgado? And he was like, yeah. And I was fangirling.
Yeah.
Dick.
Oh, he's awful?
Oh, dude. No. I was so let down. Like in on camera, you know, I didn't watch a lot of his interview stuff, but pretty good. But in person, yeah, he is.
Yeah, because he didn't really come off like that on a TV show.
Oh, no, he's not. Nice.
So it's just like behind the scenes type deal.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't get that vibe from him.
I know. I really didn't want to get the vibe from him. Like, so, but for the most part, yeah, I would say they're pretty genuine. And
you, like you said earlier, you had a lot of creative control over like how you portrayed yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's cool. Let's talk about the time limit, man. So before we're talking, you said it's less time. So the clock starts. I've heard people say, when I bet they have more time, or like when we're just watching at the house, my wife would be like, oh, they're taking breaks and this and that. So there's no breaks, right?
No. Okay, no. The breaks count as a time.
So you gotta smoke a cigarette. That's your time.
If you're a smoker and you go smoke, and like most of the people we tattooed, I'd say a majority of them were smokers.
Yeah.
And they want a snack. They're like, get like 2 hours in. They're like, hey, I'm kind of hungry, you know. And they would feed them right before the tattoo, but they're kind of hungry, or I need to stretch. Yeah. And we couldn't even put the stencil on until time started. So the most we could do was shave the skin. That was it. Then when time started, then we could start applying the stencil and stuff like that. But I would say realistically, we probably had about 4 hours, 45 minutes of tattooing.
That's ink and
skin, yeah. Yep.
So so you get a skull, somebody gives you some shit that you don't want.
Yeah.
You know you're under a time limit. I mean, what's going through your mind as you start? Is it always just like this hectic, oh shit, or did you find, and did it get easier?
No. So we refer to everybody as a creature feature, the lineup that comes up of the random people, because you'll never know what you're going to get. So we always is like, creature feature, because you get somebody on there and they just be like, I want like a unicorn on a surfboard with some watercolor galaxy waves and whatever, and I want it on my ribs, you know? And you get them over there to your booth, and they're just like, I mean, I kind of do really want it on my ribs, you know? Now that I said it out loud, that would be a cool tattoo. And you're like, what? No. I
watched you talk a guy out of it, because I went back and rewatched. I made it like 8 episodes in, because I was like, now I feel like I'm cramming for a test now before the interview. So I'm like, okay, I'm watching the season. And I think it was somebody wanted it somewhere. I think it was a res, maybe it was a lady. And you was like, are you sure? I think you talked her out of it.
Well, this one lady, I just refused to do her tattoo. I don't know if they aired that or not, but she would not budge. And she had all these freckles. And it was like, they were dark freckles. And I told her, I was like, listen, I can color over it, but it's going to look like weird spots. You know, I was like, let me do your leg. There's no freckles. And she's like, I don't know. I really kind of want it there. And then finally, I just like looked, and like Anthony came over and he's like, what do you think? I was like, I'm just going to tattoo it on myself.
Yeah.
And she like looked at me and she said, what does that mean? I was like, you can go home. Bye. You know? And she went to walk away, and then she came back and she goes, okay, but if I move it on my leg, will you do it? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
So you can tattoo that. That's right. You can tattoo yourself.
No, not really. If you do, like, you could in the first few seasons, but like if I would have tattooed myself, I still would have been on the lineup to go home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony seemed like a cool dude on the seasons, at least. Is he as chill as they portray him?
He is. He is chill. I think Anthony's like, he does a lot of meditation. I think Anthony, I think personally he probably has like a temper, and I think he has to do like meditation.
Yeah, so he's fighting it.
Yeah, he's fighting. Yeah, cool. You can tell there's times where you're just like, he's about to snap.
What about DJ?
No, DJ's awesome.
Yeah. He's definitely like a crowd favorite for sure. People love DJ.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if anybody actually could beat DJ on the show. Period. Yeah. Anyways, like I know they show it close, but I mean, DJ is like, he's so passionate about what he does. I think he had said for a long time he was like a drug addict, but he was really big in art. The whole time he was on drugs and stuff. And finally, he got to a point where he's like, I want to be clean. Mm-hmm. And when he got clean, he needed to focus all that extra stuff into something, and he just dumped it all back into art more. And yeah, I mean, he's just, I couldn't beat him. That's true. Like, there's no way.
He's insane. Some of those, like, I think they had Ink Masters. They all went against each other. There was a whole bunch of them one time.
They did, yeah.
And there was some big giant thing on somebody's back. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was insane.
What was that, or was it the one where it was?
Or was like, what was it?
Well, no, he did. Now he battled against Anthony and Steve. He had battled against Anthony and Steve.
Okay,
and he did
that season.
He did the head and shoulders.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Anthony's looked really good in person too.
Yeah.
But DJ's was like.
So it's hard to tell the actual size of the tattoos on the TV show. Like, sometimes it's hard to tell how big stuff is. Like, especially when they zoom in on it when they're critiquing and stuff.
I would say average was probably 6x8 is probably.
So like this lady on your arm right there.
That's probably normal. Yeah,
that's about what you're getting in the 4.5 hours to 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, about that size. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't fuck around.
No. And the people move and they complain, and and it's just like.
Did you ever have anybody that gave out? Like, that was trying to give out?
No, I did, yes. So me and Juan faced off against Anthony. We all had to do Anthony's design. And so,
I remember. Okay,
so I do a lot of, at that time, now I do a lot of black and gray too, but at that time I did a lot of color, and I knew that I could beat them both. So I was like, I'll beat them in this one. And then as soon as I sat down and I started doing line work on the guy, he was like, the longest tattoo I ever had was like 30 minutes. And we got like an hour in, and this guy was like, dude, I don't think I can make it. And I'm starting thinking, we have so long left.
What do you feel in that moment? Like, he's going to blow your shot
I was stressed. Like, so I don't even think I was smoking at that time. I went outside and I borrowed a cigarette from one of the producers, and I was smoking. I was just like, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so I went back in and I changed it to black work. I was like, okay, well, we're just going to do black work. Yeah. I was going to do black and gray, but he wasn't going to sit for that either. And I was like, okay, we're just going to do black work. And luckily it came out. It was a clean tattoo. But yeah, I didn't get to do any color really in it.
That's got to be a full-blown panic moment, huh?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure when they start saying that.
The canvas can screw you. Like, they could send you home.
There was a couple on season 13, there was a guy, and she got like an hour and a half and just got him. She just walked out. She said, I'm done.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh God, I wanted to say Jared, but
a couple of y'all came back.
Jarrell.
Okay, yeah. A couple of y'all came back that season, right? Who was the other one? There was
me, Frank,
from
Angel, and
what was the guy's name that had
Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah. The traditional guy.
Yep.
That was a good season too.
It was, yeah.
But so the judges, who was your favorite judge?
Probably Dave.
Yeah,
probably Dave. Yeah, Dave is one of those people that if he likes you, he's super nice. Yeah. But if he doesn't,
man. So did you see him like not like some contestants on your season?
Well, so he didn't like Rolly.
Oh, really?
And it was crazy because like during the finale, like I went home and Rolly got to be in the finale, and that was like a big controversial thing, you know? And so I'm talking to Rolly because his wife is there and his kids are there when we're shooting the finale, and he's like all upset. And, and I take him outside and we're in the hallway and I'm talking to him and I'm just like, listen, dude. And cause he, all these people were like online and they were just like, fuck Rolly, like you shouldn't be in there. And they were saying, there was thousands and thousands of comments. Yeah. And his wife was crying and it was sad. Honestly, it was sad. And I took him on the hallway and I was like, dude, it doesn't matter. This is your moment. I was like, you're the one that's in the finale. I was like, so who cares? These people are saying, this is your moment, dude. Yeah. I was like, and just make the best out of it that you can. Well, while I'm sitting there telling him that, Dave walks up. And he was like, he completely ignored that Rolly was even standing there. He didn't even say hi, Rolly, or nothing. He was like, dude, that sucks. You're not in the finale, man. He goes, you should have been in the finale. So-and-so. And I was just like,
not in front of him.
No, in front of him. In front of him, dude. Crazy. In front of him.
That's crazy.
In front of him. Yeah. It was, yeah. But yeah, Dave's one of those. Also, so when Rolly, like he doesn't draw like a whole lot. And that was the thing. It's like him being in the finale, like people were worried because he doesn't really draw a lot. Well, he did the finale piece, but it turned out to be not so good. And so when he got up there to critique, it was a live critique. So his whole family, everything is sitting in the audience, all of his friends and everything, they flew in from Orlando to watch this. And as soon as he unveiled his master canvas, Dave like looks at him and he was like, did you not understand what the assignment was?
Oh, wow.
And Rolly was like, he goes,
TV.
Full body dragon, snake, and eagle. And he goes, you gave us 3 floating heads. And then Oliver's like, one of them's debatably a dragon. He goes, it looks like a Muppet bear. Oh, yeah. And I think all that stuff got cut out. But dude, they roasted him.
And there's a whole... So how many people are at the finale? Like
all of us.
But like the crowd, though.
So we shot it in Vegas. So we shot in Vegas. It was a lot. We shot it in a casino. And it was a lot. Yeah.
So everybody heard that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it gets worse. It gets worse. So we were all supposed to go up as a group outside Josh, Juan, and Rolly, and we are supposed to basically like decide who for sure gets to move on to the first slot, and then the judges pick the next one. So we go up there and we're all talking everything. Well, I'm trying to be nice because I know how Rolly's feeling and everything. So I'm trying to like point out the good things about his tattoo. I was like, hey, his line works good, and so on and so on. His own team was roasting shit at him. They were talking about how bad it was. So here's the thing. They didn't tell us that we were live downstairs. We went upstairs to shoot it. So we get downstairs.
And they seen it on the screen?
It filmed the whole time. But like everybody could see what we were saying downstairs.
Hey, you said something nice though.
I said something nice, but it didn't matter. It was so bad that he didn't even stay for the after party. He just disappeared. And then like, I'm sitting there and I'm having a drink and one of his teammates comes and sits beside me. He's like, have you seen Rolly? And I was like, no, I hadn't seen him. And I was like, why? And he goes, I think he left, man. And I was like, why'd he leave? He's like, do you remember when we were upstairs and we were all talking all that shit about his tattoo? And I was like, I was doing shit about his tattoo. And they were like, yeah, well, we were. He's like, we were. And I was like, yeah. He goes, did you know that they were airing that downstairs? And I was like, no. And he was like, yeah, dude, they were airing it downstairs. And I was like, oh,
that's kind of sneaky of them.
It is sneaky. Dude, they're very smart.
So they do that. Was there more of that throughout the season?
100%.
You were recorded when you didn't know it?
Recorded when we didn't know it. And they're very good at what they do. Like
the scenes they show you are there for a reason.
They're just very good. They're very sneaky.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people think that the show's like fake drama. And I would say the first half of the show is fake drama that turns into real drama.
Right.
So by the time you get halfway through the show, it's real drama.
When everyone's good left.
Yeah.
And it starts getting if you mess a line up, you might go home instead of where you can.
So they're real smart. So they'll take, when we first do the tattoos, they run around, they take pictures with cell phones, like little shitty cell phones. And it'll be bad lighting and everything. And then they send them to
everybody.
So they come upstairs and they show us the pictures of the tattoos on the cell phone. Okay. So this is how they get you. Let's say me and your friends. Yeah. Okay. We both go on. We're both on the show together. We get along great and everything. They come up and they show me your tattoo. It's okay. It's not like the worst, but it's not all that good either. And they're like, what do you think about your buddy's tattoo? And I'm like, it's not bad. And they're like, what do you really think about it? Yeah. And I'm like, it's not bad. And they're like, and they zoom in on this little cell phone. And you're like, what about these lines right here? And I'm like, they're a little bad. They're not great. They're a little sketchy, And so then you get into the group and they start, and then we do like the group dialogue and we're commenting, right? And then somebody was like, oh, what do you guys think about blah, blah, blah's tattoo? And I'm not saying nothing, but everybody's like, oh, it sucks. It sucks. And they're like, Jason, what do you think about it? And I was like, I thought it was fine. What's not what you said? What'd you say about the line work? And you're like, you said line work was pretty sketchy, right? And then now your friend is looking at you. He's like, did you say that?
Line work
did you say my line work was sketchy? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, that's exactly how
they do it. Yeah. And so by the end, after how many days is it total?
3 months.
3 months. Okay. Yeah. So by the end, you see these people every day, right?
Yeah, you're locked in with them. You don't get to leave.
So you don't leave? Okay.
You never leave. No, you don't leave at all.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah. You actually go through like a separation deprivation is what they call it.
Oh, wow.
So it's like they almost become your family. So when somebody does leave the show, everybody gets kind of sad. It's kind of a bummer, yeah.
Damn.
And then when you get off and you're not airing anymore, it's like weird for like a month.
You get to adjust to like regular life, huh?
Yeah.
What did the show do for you, do you think? Was it overall, do you think it was positive for like your career?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I started tattooing a lot of people that would start flying in and overseas and stuff like that. And, and then I was traveling around doing conventions and I would have like a big crowd, just wanting random autographs and, stuff like that, buying prints. And so, no, it was So
positive. You can always just be like, hey, I was on Ink Masters and I went far. Like twice. Yeah. So that almost that's like a stamp that shows like, you're going to get a good tattoo.
Well, it does get you it does get you free booze at conventions. And like, like I actually leave in like 6 hours for New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
They bought me a hotel and free booth and stuff like that. And they're really, really great guys. And I love the town that I'm going to. So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a positive thing. You got a little hate mail, but
a lot of hate mail.
Yeah. But I mean,
a lot of hate mail, but it's all right. I kind of liked reading it. So
yeah. So, I mean, it seems like you handled it well because you can flip that type of stuff. You
can, yeah.
And you can almost like power you up.
Yeah. Well, and I would say nice things back most of the time. Like I get on Facebook and there'd just be like, there'd always be like the same people that always make the same comments, and I get on and I'd be like, hey, how's the family doing, man? You guys have a good Christmas, blah, blah, and it would just make them mad. But
yeah. So there's a lot of trolls on the internet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. And it's a mindset that I don't understand. Like, cause I just don't get on, I never just got on the internet, went and found people and just be like, you know what, you fucking suck.
Dude, I've never done that either.
I've never done that.
Yeah. I've never done it in person. I've never walked up to a tattoo artist in person and been like, that sucks. Never.
Yeah.
Never. On the show, though.
on the show, you gotta tell. Like, you think that line was good? Look at me.
Oh, no. I said so much negative stuff on the show. I had one girl cried. I felt bad.
Was it the first season?
No, it was the second season. Yeah. Okay. She was really nice too. But she was crying. And I walked out there and she's like, I hate you. And I was like, what? And she goes, you are so mean. And I felt like so bad because I was like,
using TV mode, huh?
It's TV though.
Yeah, you're in TV mode.
You didn't read the contract? I was like,
So character's a big thing about it because I mean, that's why I didn't even know you were from Texarkana, but I knew once I started putting things together, like Jason from Ink Master, I remember him because you caused a lot of ruckus, you know what I'm saying? And the tattoos were good.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. No, I'm having fun already. This is cool. Oliver, is he as tough as he tries to come up on the screen?
No, he's a kid.
Is he really?
He's so immature, yeah. Yeah. No.
I guess that kind of makes sense, though.
Well, he doesn't have a kid. And so apparently his house is full of like, he has like life-size Simpson characters and putt-putt golf in his house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's just like a big kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. When did you ever feel they judged a tattoo that did you ever come in there and you're like, this is a fucking masterpiece? And they, like, when you left, you felt like it wasn't a masterpiece?
Oh, yeah. No, everybody. Every tattoo you do. Even if you feel okay about the tattoo, when you stand up, none of us liked it. Like, so
you walk in and you're like, this is the greatest shit ever. And you walk out like, am I supposed to be here?
Dude, halfway through the critique, you're just like, I don't know. I don't know if I should fight for this thing or not. Like, I should just take this ass whooping or what, Yeah.
They always talk about fighting to stay here. Do you think, do you have an effect on that once you go into you go in the bottom and you go in front of them? Everybody's like, go fight for it. You got to go fight.
I think so. Yeah, I think so because they want things to be dramatic, but they also want like a villain and a hero and stuff like that. And I think, people want somebody they can cheer for. And so you're not really going to cheer for the person that just doesn't have any fight in them. So, it's like nobody really wants to cheer for that person.
So you think the judges are also having to think about what's going to be good TV still?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it isn't just about the tattoos.
No, it's not just about tattoos. No, definitely about good TV. Yeah.
About good stuff. Man, for some reason, I don't know why I didn't think about, I thought the judges would just be like, well, it's just the tattoos, but now it's making sense because how in control are the judges? Or is there a TV network that has some sway too?
It's both. It's both. Like there's a room full of people that basically like have an idea of, they basically do like a rough draft of like how the story could go, but that changes like a lot. Because let's just say that they have somebody like this person is going to make it to the end, but then they do a really bad tattoo, and everybody else has a really good tattoo, and now you're like, well, crap. Now we're back in here trying to figure out the storyboard. Like what do we do?
Man, because you've seen it happen if you watch especially if you watch a bunch of shows.
Send somebody home like that?
Yeah, somebody will just fall off on that. Like just one day, just make the wrong decision. Like you were saying, take the wrong risk.
Well, when I first got on, I like followed everybody on Instagram, and then I spent the entire night looking at everybody's stuff and making mental notes of what they were good at and what they were bad at. And I just did that to everybody. And so then when it came time to hand out skulls, I was like,
let's talk strategy. Yeah. Let's talk strategy on Ink Masters. That is important.
That's fine. And it's real. That's real. There's nothing fake about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you win the Flash Challenge. You get to pick the skulls, and you try to give the bad ones away.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Yeah.
But then there's times where people will take the hard ones themselves, and like and then sometimes it goes really wrong, and then sometimes you really show off that you're a badass.
Well, because they're like, I know I can do this. I know I can do this. And and everybody thinks it's hard, if I pull it off, I'm going to look really good. But then, if they don't pull it off, then they look real stupid.
Yeah, because you picked the hard one when you could have gave it to somebody else. I liked when there was a part in y'all's season, the first season, because it's so fresh because I just watched it just the other day, when DJ sent Josh down to go up against I can't even think of his
Gary.
name. Yeah, Gary.
I wanted to battle Josh so bad. Oh man, I wanted to battle Josh so bad.
With the tiger heads.
I'd have whooped his ass on the tiger head.
You think you could hit him on the tiger head?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Because the big deal was the eye or something, right? Like his eye was a little
it was
off.
eye and underbite. He gave a tiger an underbite, and I saw him do it. We were all like watching. I saw him outline the teeth, and I was like, because what it was they both got down to, they had minutes left. And so what happened was Josh wiped his stencil away, and I saw him do it. I saw him wipe the stencil, but I wanted Josh gone. Like I didn't want it.
Yeah, because that's like an obstacle. Yeah,
so
he won that season, right?
He did win a season.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And so he wiped the stencil away, and the part where the glare was supposed to be, he tattooed the pupil.
Oh,
and that's why it was off. And then he got in a hurry, and he shaded the bottom lip down too far, so he outlined the bottom teeth. And when he did, they came up over the top lip, so he gave the tiger like a weird underbite.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But then Gary did the really bad whiskers.
The whisker deals look like lightning. I remember that. They look like lightning. Weird. Yeah. And then but in my head, when they faced off, I was like, so I was wondering how they factored how far back you go. Like, so you have, like Josh has all these good weeks. Like he didn't really make any mistakes up to that point, kind of, sort of.
They don't really do that.
And so, in that moment, I was thinking, okay, Gary's got to really fuck up. But you're saying
Josh had a better personality. Josh had a better TV personality.
And so he would have had to really mess up for them to want to send him home in that moment.
Basically, it got to where what was more fixable? Josh's pupils and underbite or Gary's whiskers? Yeah. Gary's whiskers were probably more fixable, but Gary just didn't have no personality. Like, he was just like
bland.
Yeah, he was.
Like,
he was. And like you said, like you remember Josh immediately when you said his name.
I can't.
But you couldn't remember Gary's name.
You had to tell me Gary.
Yeah. And that's and that's
and
why.
And they think about that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. At the end of the day, the TV, there's got to be good TV.
You want to be memorable, even if you do bad tattoos. You still want to be memorable. Otherwise, you waste your time.
Yeah.
So.
But I think you did both. You did good tattoos and you're memorable. So that was cool. I'm trying to think. We talked about the time limit. We talked about canvases getting up. Skull picks. Did you ever form any alliances?
No, I wasn't. They kind of like tried to push me into it, and I was like, sure, but the whole time I was like, okay, clearly they're lying.
Was it like Team Anthony? Is that like that was the team he was on, right?
Yeah.
So was they wanting you to make an alliance with those people, or who were they?
No. Okay, so no, when we were on teams on that one, alliances was really. We didn't really do alliances much in season 10, but season 13, like we were kind of doing alliances and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, it was more just a team thing.
Who was the girl on that season 13?
Which one?
The one that came back. That was good. She was pretty good.
Angel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then, so wait, Jimmy had a brother. on the season.
He did. He's also a really good tattooer, but he has anger issues. He has some pretty big. He has like real anger issues,
and he would just well, I think I remember that. It would just blow up.
So that was real. That was real. That blow up was real, and it actually went on a lot longer than they filmed. But I've heard some stories like outside, like him doing conventions and stuff, where he's gotten a little drunk and also had like really like bad temper issues and stuff. But but strong tattooer, like definitely just as good as Jimmy.
Yeah, and he's black. He doesn't do traditional.
No, he does traditional.
Oh, they both do. Okay.
Traditional, yeah.
And they taught themselves, huh? Or the wedding or something like that?
No, I don't think. No, because Jimmy works for well, he has his own shop now, but he worked for a huge tattooer, a really famous black and gray tattooer, Carl Grace, and he worked. Cool. I didn't realize that until towards the end. And then he told me, I was like, you work for Carl Grace? And I was like, that's sick, man. And he was like, because he's real famous in the tattoo community.
Wow. So, man, tattooers, let's talk about the psychology behind it.
Yeah.
You run into some characters, huh?
Like, on the show?
Yeah, well, just in the tattoo industry.
I think artists in general have big personalities.
Right.
You meet the quiet ones, but deep inside, I think they also have big personality. They just didn't figure out how to get it out yet. But yeah, as far as like tattoo wise goes, you definitely get a lot of characters in it.
What about shops? Is it ever hard to like work in a shop dynamic where you run into wildcats that think differently? You gotta have to think differently, like you're saying, to be a tattoo artist.
So I've worked by myself most of the time because I have a really strict work ethic, and it kind of contradicts a lot of tattooers. And I also not real quiet about things. So if I see them doing something that I think is like bad ethics, I'll just say it.
Yeah.
And so
people don't like that.
No, they don't like it. They don't like it.
So you're more of a lone wolf as far as where are you tattooing right now?
So I'm actually tattooing at Gilded Anchor, which is like a little shop in LE.
Okay, cool.
And so I didn't realize LE was as popular as it was.
Shout out to Liberty Island.
Exactly. That's what I kept hearing on the
This is
podcast.
Liberty Island. This is still in Liberty Island. So
this is Liberty Island.
Yeah, this is still in Liberty Island.
Okay. I didn't know that. So he has like a little shop in front of his house. And from the outside, you're like, I don't know. But you get inside, honestly, it looks like any other tattoo shop.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's just him. And there's really just not really any shop drama. And I knew him from before, so I knew that we would get along just fine.
Cool. So people here in town, that's what a lot of people listening here.
Yeah, Gilded Anchor.
Yeah, if you want to get an Ink Master tattoo, come on.
Yeah.
Help like you said, you get people, so you'll probably have people come into Texarkana just to get tattooed.
I do, I already have, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Man, I don't know, man. Like the funny thing about Ink Masters is, and I think I said this on Jessica's interview, is where I learned a lot about how bad some of my tattoos are.
No, it's super educational.
When they teach, like if you watch a whole bunch of seasons, you start to understand. Like I could feel like maybe not as good as a judge, obviously, but like you can start telling what's a good tattoo.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. A lot of people would complain about Ink Masters saying they didn't think it was good for the tattoo community, but I think it was actually good for the community on both sides. In the long run, I thought it did a lot of good, because it gives tattooers, something to aspire to do, because it is kind of like a little trophy belt kind of to be on there, and do good on there. And they get to see the mindset of other tattooers. Like, well, how does a tattooer approach this idea, because maybe you've, worked around the same people your whole life and those people handle things one way, but you see them on TV and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that maybe I could persuade them and do this, and then viewers like you who don't tattoo, that have walked around but getting tattooed this whole time, like oblivious to that it was like a bad tattoo.
We're like, oh yeah, this is dope.
Yeah, people like after they watch the show, they're like looking at their tattoos, like that motherfucker.
Yeah, like a busted line. When they were the first time I was really watching Ink Masters, I was really listening to what the judge was saying. He started talking about busted lines.
Yeah, the blowouts. Yeah,
blowouts. I start looking down and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm covered. I'm covered, bro. Yeah. Oh, and then like anatomy stuff. Physics stuff, stuff going the wrong way.
Flow is that's one of the things that a lot of tattooers probably could learn.
Yeah,
like that's where you start seeing the difference between a tattooer and an artist that became a tattooer is flow.
Oh, yeah, they kind of understand.
Yeah, and then Jessica was talking about light sourcing. That's something that I also notice on a lot of tattoos where people aren't artists and they start copying and pasting stuff. They don't get the light source the same. It'll be like boom, boom,
shadows,
boom. Yeah. It looks real weird, and you can tell as soon as they post it, you're like, oh yeah, you're getting an artist.
Yeah, she was saying that they get an anchor over here and then they get a a fish over here, and then a deal over here, the water over here, and then they. Yeah,
and that's it. They basically just drag and drop pictures, and they go, oh, "Okay, cool, we got it."
I had some sun rays. I don't know if I said this on Justice.
You said they're going the wrong way.
Yeah. So
let me see.
Oh man, I got this. So here, there's a super dark rose. That's to cover up sun rays that went the wrong way. So everything was going boop, 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 and the sun was shining normal, and then the sun was just like.
Just got really got lazy.
Just gave out.
No, I think it's good. I have noticed that people have started to get a lot more educated on what a good tattoo and bad tattoo is, and I think it's because of the show.
Style you learn. Like I can tell you what all the different styles of tattoos are, and that's not something you learn. Yeah, unless you just sit around the shop all the time. Which we want, because when somebody messages for a tattoo and they go, "Okay, well, I want a line," you're like, "Okay, cool." Well, do you want like a neo-traditional line, traditional, black and gray realism, surrealistic? Like, what do you want? Color.
Well, now people, when they message us, they're like, hey, I want a neo-traditional line, And so that narrows it down when we design it. Like, it gives us, clear line of sight.
Educating the client beforehand. Do you do any type of, well, I guess there's got to be channels and stuff where people, tattoo artists, like, YouTubes or something, reels or something where they're teaching.
Yeah,
so that's a lane that
there's some like Facebook groups where the only issue is we have like a lot of people that'll like sneak on there like, oh, I'm a tattooer, and then they're not really a tattooer, but they want to get on there and they want to learn how to tattoo like at the house. Yeah, and they're just trying to learn how to tattoo and stuff. But yeah, like I belong to a few pages that are like that.
Did you ever tattoo out of the house, or did you?
No, when I very first started, not for very long, but when I very first started, because it was like. At that time, you had to pay a minimum $10,000 to get into a shop
to apprentice.
Yeah, and
how much is it today?
Easily the same. I would assume it's the same, if not more.
But you're going to learn to make thousands and thousands of dollars. So I guess it does make sense. It's like trade school or something.
I had no money. Yeah. I was building cabinets. I was super poor. I was like, you don't make no money building cabinets,
right? And so. Did you just tattoo until you got good enough for someone to like notice you, or did you apprentice somewhere though, right?
No, I did apprentice. Yeah. So I tattooed at home for a little bit, and then but it was a high crime rate area, and there was like multiple times that there were like really close situations where somebody was going to get shot, it was a bad neighborhood. And I just told myself,
was that here?
Like, no.
Okay, so you're not from here though.
No, I'm not from here originally, but I. Shortly after I got out of my apprenticeship, I worked a little bit in Searcy. I don't know if you know where that's at. But So I worked a little bit there, and then I went from there to here, and then I started working here. Yeah. So
did you work in any of the shops here that are here now still?
Yeah, Texarkana Inc.
You worked at Texarkana Inc.
And then I worked at Texarkana Inc. And then I worked at Red Room for a little bit before it closed down.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm with you. So you. The apprenticeship, so you just had to gather the money up for it, or
I sold everything I had. So the thing was, I had like a lot of stuff from like Rent-A-Center. Like I had like my couch, my TV, my washer and dryer from Rent-A-Center. I sold them all. Yeah, I sold everything. I didn't even pay. They weren't even paid for yet. I just sold them, and then I sold like everything I had. I kept like 3 or 4 changes of clothes and a sleeping bag.
Wow.
And I gave them all the money that I had. And I got enough money to pay the apprenticeship and rent a trailer. I rented this little bitty, like it was a small, super rundown trailer.
Like a camper or like a single wide trailer?
No, it was like a single wide. Okay, but it was not in good shape. And I just slept on the floor the whole time I apprenticed until the guy that I apprenticed under, he randomly showed up at the place. He was like, where is this guy going? And he followed me and knocks the door and he answered. And he was like, what the hell are you doing, dude? He goes, oh, you've been sleeping on the floor this whole time? He's like, where's your TV? You ain't got no TV, And so he made me come stay at his house. So that was super cool. Yeah.
Cool. But do you think those times built you and turned you into who you needed to be to even go on TV and be?
I think so. Yeah. It's like when things in life, you got 2 choices. You can let those things in life really hold you back, or you can let them excel you. Yeah. And so
there's somebody out there listening that wants to do something, and they may not want to hear that you may have to go sleep on the ground.
But the truth is that, you got a whole generation now where you got point A where a lot of people start at, and you got to work really hard to get to point B. And the generation now, I feel like they just want to start at point B. Yeah. They don't see all the struggles and everything that it takes to get from A to B. And then you got a few of us that we don't even start at A. We start out before A. We got to work really hard to get to A.
Yeah.
And then work even harder to get to B,
But it makes you appreciate B
It
more.
does.
Yeah. If you skip A, you don't know. B is A, actually.
If you don't work for something, you never understand the full value of it. Because let's just say something costs $500, okay? You pay $500 for it, you get it, instant gratification. But the thing is that you don't just pay money for the object. You pay time, you sacrifice, because you have to sacrifice something to be able to make that money, you know? And so you've got time, and then you sacrifice something else, and then you've got the money that you spent on it. So it's not just $500. So some people, that $500 may be, you know, $10,000 to somebody else. You know, you don't know.
Right, yeah, because yeah, if you're a 17-year-old and your parents give you $500 to buy something, you don't understand.
You have no idea. Yeah, you don't know what your parents had to do to get the $500.
Golly. There's kids out there that don't understand how hard that $500 may have been. That's crazy. But no, like you say, you can't skip the first steps.
No.
Right now, I'm in this period of like, trying to get this podcast to go, you know. I'm doing like 3 or 4 interviews a week.
Yeah, you said this is your third attempt at a podcast, right?
I've quit several times.
Yeah.
Like, but I've always had some other side, you know, because I recorded music and I did that for like 8 years.
Yeah.
And it worked. They were just driving me crazy. Like literally, I was just I just got to a point. And then I didn't like to be inside all day. Like I've kind of fell back into a family business where I could be outside, and I need the sun, dude. That's what I realized.
Yeah, I like being outside too.
I have to get in the sun because this shit turned into a cave real fast.
Well, depression and
it hit me hard at one point, and I was so burnt out that like recording a song just sounded like the worst. I would drive home in silence, like.
Well, you know, I had a friend that's got a recording studio in Dallas he inherited from his dad, but he's really musically inclined. And he told me this is terrible. He said most music today is like garbage and it's run through so many filters and auto-tune and everything to get it to sound good. Yeah. He was like, you just don't even know how much altering you have to do to music to make it sound good now.
When I first started, I thought this process was so cool. Like, you know, there was really this artist aspect to it. Like watching somebody draw and do a tattoo right in front of you. Like I'm watching somebody put this shit on wax. This is coming out of their brain. It's making me feel a certain type of way. This is so cool to be behind the scenes. And then you fast forward like 8 years and you get tired of watching people do the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
So have you ever burnt out on tattoos?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not burnt out on tattoos, burnt out on just like everything else that goes like with the tattooing. Right. Because, you know, it's like tattooing isn't just like I'm going to go in the shop and I'm going to do this tattoo and make some money. I'm going to go spend the money on something, you know, and stuff like that. No, it's like there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes and a lot, you know, like I draw almost every night. Like I'm drawing something, you know, if I'm teaching myself to draw something new or if I'm redrawing something that I drew before or whatever, like I'm always drawing something because I want to keep getting better. But it's just like, you know, especially when you start getting busy, everything starts stacking on top of each other. And I think like, my girl told me one time that I went like 3 months and I didn't take any day off. And I didn't know because the 3 months went by so fast. Right. And I didn't even know, you know? And it's just like the life just gets sucked out of you, you know? Like your friends are like, hey, you should come to this concert. You're like, oh, dude, I can't. You know, I'm booked out the next 3 months. Like, they're like, oh, we should come camping with us. And I'm like, dude, I can't. I'm booked out the next 2 months. You know? And it's just like, you look back at a year has gone by and you're just like, I did nothing. But I did nothing but just tattoo people. Yeah. You know?
So what do you work in more doing stuff? Extracurricular to try to keep you fresh? Or?
Well, so I just moved back to Texarkana. I moved back about a month and a half ago, and I'm going to use Texarkana as like a fresh start. You know, like in College Station, I was booked out constantly. Sure. And so Texarkana, like now I'm starting to book up now, but I'm trying my best to like say, hey, take a couple of days off, play some disc golf, play video games. I love video games, you know, and it's like Elden Ring, the new drop comes out this month, and I'm trying to like make sure that I take some days off to play it, you know, and stuff like that. So
heck yeah. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. It's so easy to get like what I've done is I started compacting all these interviews. I realized I had to do that so I could be home, you know.
Right. And so this work really hard a couple of days so you can have some days free.
So yesterday I did 3 yesterday and I've done 3 today. Yeah. So I'm up like 6 of them.
No, it's good though.
And so now tomorrow, as soon as I get done doing, because I work at another business too, my family business, when I'm off, I'm going to be off for a little bit. Now I do a ton of editing. I do all the editing myself too. Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good though. I mean, it's, you know,
I'm learning a skill and it's all good. It's taking over though.
But it's a skill that you're going to be able to transfer onto something else. I mean, because media is huge. Media is huge,
right.
you know, and you need it. Like, you know, it's like you can't now, if you don't have some kind of media going on, then, I mean, you're not going to reach anybody really.
Yeah, I've been telling people you have to be you almost have to be a content creator first and then whatever you are. Except I do think that tattoos may be the exception for that, because once you establish yourself as a tattoo person and then you've got then you have credentials and the conventions and the magazines and I was on TV.
Yeah.
You probably don't have to market yourself that much anymore, do you? Or do you still have to?
Okay, so yes and no. So you have to look at the demographics. So when in College Station, it was 100,000 college students. So that's a huge online presence, and it's easy. You know, plus we're in the middle of Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin. And people travel through there a whole lot. And then you got all the football games, even though the football team is terrible. You got all the football games. And so people are constantly on social media seeing what's going on in College Station. Texarkana, though, is a different demographic. So I feel like that social media, as far as TikTok and Snap and stuff like that, I feel like in Texarkana, it's almost better to get out and be face to face and talk to people. Right. You know, people are getting on social media here, but you got a different demographic of people, different age groups. You have a lot less kids that are in that age group that are constantly on social media. Sure. So I've been going out and actually talking to people face to face and constantly keep business cards on me. And that's been really productive.
Right. I think this will help too. I didn't know you were back.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't know how to advertise. I never even posted that I was back. I just said, hey, I'm going to be tattooing in Texarkana. Yeah. But I never posted and said, hey, I moved back here. So
yeah. Yeah, people, I get a little traction here and there. It's the clips. Clips of this is what really gives me tons of views.
Matt Rife, that's how Matt Rife blew up. Yeah. Yeah, it was the clips, the little clips.
And that's
little snippets of his comedy that was never popular before. And then those little clips during COVID started posting, and then shortly after COVID, and he just blew up because of those little clips.
Yeah. Jody, one thing he's really good at is the clips. He makes the clips about his new tattoos and stuff.
I got to learn. It's not something that I did before. And so we hired somebody. And she's our media manager. And so she posted something today on TikTok, and within 2 hours it already had 6,000 likes and
which is good.
Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, it started and it was oh, okay. Well, she apparently knows something more than we know. Yeah. So,
you have to adapt. So, do you do any art outside of just straight up tattooing?
Yeah. So I every year or two I give myself a new goal. So I realized a long time ago that if I just did one style of tattooing, I'd be super popular. The problem with that is that I like too much art to just do one style of tattooing. So every year or two, I give myself a new goal. And in the last couple of years, it was realism. It was mostly black and gray realism because I was known for doing color, but nobody's really booking black and gray. And I was no, I could be good at black and gray.
Right. Yeah.
And so about 2 years ago, I said, hey, all black and gray. The problem with that is that with black and gray realism, you don't really draw anything. Kind of you're just looking for the right image, the right lighting, changing it, editing it, stuff like that. And you kind of fall off the art aspect of it as far as just actually just pencil, paint, drawing, creating art. So this year, a couple months ago, I said, well, different, my year starts in I don't know, May or something. But so I told myself, I was now I'm going to go back to neo-traditional, which is what I did in the beginning. And so for neo-traditional, I picked it because it forces me to have to draw. I have to sit down, I have to draw, and I need to render it. I need to color everything. So when you're doing black and gray realism, you don't really do a lot of rendering. You're more just kind of putting it together.
Make it look real.
Exactly. And so with the neo-traditional, it forces me to draw. So this week, I designed 6 new prints. And I use those prints to sell.
I think I saw them on your Facebook.
Yeah. And those get traction because now, I've already sold a bunch of prints. I got people, and my profit margin on the prints is really good. So, and then so I got new prints. I can use them for T-shirt designs, and then I can also tattoo them. So now I'm designing stuff that I would like to tattoo, but I'm also selling it as art.
So it's 3 different ways you could take every design.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm increasing the monetary value of one design. So what I'm going to do is set a goal. Yeah, every week I'm going to put out one new print for the rest of the year. Every week, one new print, and that's going to allow me to sell it at shows or sell it online. Allow me to use it on a business card, use it on a shirt. and then also tattoo it.
Hey, who wants this? Yeah,
exactly. Oh,
somebody's gonna be like, oh, damn.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I've already sold all but one of them, I think.
Wow.
So
this one on your arm, I like how the one above the lady.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Oh, this.
What is that style?
Okay, so this is like a European neo-traditional.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. It's been catching my eye.
Yeah,
is that's like a fang at the bottom?
No, a claw. Yeah. So
I like the color on that. Like how it's gold.
Okay,
almost.
So the reason why it's European neo is because the Europeans have they use a different kind of color palette than we use. They use a lot more muted tones, which I like. And here in the United States, like we have like a certain color palette you see as commonly used.
That's what's catching me. There's not the colors you typically see in tattoos.
It's like a muted purple and olive green and it's a different color palette. Yeah. But not done in Europe. It's a guy in San Antonio, and he just most of his stuff is like a European.
Do you how many tattoos have you tattooed yourself?
Two,
just two.
Yeah, not very many. Yeah,
some people drew on their one leg. Like Jessica was talking about how she drew on her leg just to get better.
I was smarter than that. I was doing no. I had a lot of people volunteered, so I was like.
Do you ever feel? I guess you forget your tattoo sometimes.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't walk around and look and go, "Oh, I'm tattooed." But
sometimes sometimes especially here in this demographic of people, like the older white people, sometimes people look at me and I get the felon look, and I'm like, "Well, why they look at me like that? Okay. I'm a nice man." And then I look down, like, "Oh yeah, my hands are tattooed and shit." Okay, that might be.
I'm big about opening door for people. So I always so I got a little girl and and in Cassie, so I always open the car doors for them. I'm really big about that. I'm like, I'll run out there. If my little girl grabs her door, I slam it shut and I'll look at her. And she'd be like, but it's really cute because she leans over and opens my door for me. But I'm really big. I was like, no, I'm gonna open the door for you. So and so I had lived in Miami for a long time, and Miami's really liberal. And I honestly thought Texas was liberal too. Well, I thought it was. I didn't know. But anyways, so in Miami, nobody cares about tattoos. Your UPS worker, it's hot. So they wear the summer outfit. They're completely covered in tattoos. Your doctor, tattoos. Business owner, tattoos. Everybody has them. Nobody cares. So I got here. And I remember this old lady was fixing to walk in a building. There was a couple of dudes standing there, and she walked past them, and none of them grabbed the door for her. And I was like, that kind of sucks, So I come running around them, and I grab the door, and I open it for her, and she was like, "Oh, thank you," And then she looked at me and saw the tattoo on my hand and gave me such a shit look. She was just like, "Oh my God," And I was just like, I was like, "Come on now."
They have a lot and I think it is changing, definitely.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of especially with the older folks, they just around here, the small, or even I'm sure in lots of small towns, probably all over the place.
Yeah.
There's all these preconceived notions, I guess. And then a lot of people will think jail and they think oh, your hands are tattooed. When did you go to prison? And that's how I know some of my tattoos ain't good, because people ask me, well, which ones did you get in prison?
Did they really ask you that? So luckily, I don't have any that. Most of them I guess they look fairly decent. That that nobody's asked me yet.
Some of mine aren't bad, no, they don't look bad.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, I can tell what they are, you know.
But the thing is, cool. I like this one.
This is a style though too. If you look at most of your mainstream rappers, this is what they have.
Yeah,
because it's a style. And so
I wanted to be a rapper at one point. So I got covered in rapper tattoos.
Look at Justin Bieber. Yeah. He got so much money, and he's covered in rapper tattoos. You know. Now, some of them I wish I could redo for sure, but I'm not going to probably. I kind of like some of these old ones. I have this is probably the goofiest one, but I like it. The 59. That's the. So what's the highway? What's the highway one?
That right here. That's 59. That goes all the way to Houston.
So you grew up here your whole life,
right? Yeah. But 59 goes all the way to Houston.
Oh, okay.
So it's the south of Texas. You can go all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so there's goofy things I have a really, really bad sound wave right here.
Can you scan it though? Does it play? Some of them you can scan.
No, probably.
Oh, no. Okay.
Now, I was talking to Jessica after the deal.
You can see the blowout. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, some of those lines are a little
She told me we should turn it into a knife.
You could turn to. You turn to one of those. We call it the ones that were made out of stone.
Yeah, like that type. Yeah, that would be cool. This is the only piece of color I have on me for some reason.
Yeah, everything is black and gray, isn't it? Wait, what does that one say?
It says Grace, how sweet the sound. And then there's a sound wave. And then there's a piano.
So was the sound wave originally from the song or no?
No, I wasn't that cool.
Was it random?
It
Just went in and just went like this?
There's no telling what this says. This might say fuck off or something.
Man,
I don't know.
If it was cleaner and you could scan it, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so blown out.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think you can scan it.
No, it would probably just be like a beat, and all of a sudden just be like, whoa, and then kick back in.
But I also got play buttons. That's kind of funny.
Were you a gamer, or is that for just
music.
for streaming?
Yeah, just for music. Okay. Yeah, so it was like back when we would.
Oh, you won! You won a race. I saw that. You came in second place overall and first place in the division.
Yeah. So I run. Yeah, I run.
Yeah.
I just try to stay in shape. Really, I play a ton of basketball.
Dude, basketball is one of those things that keep you in shape. Yeah, there's a lot of cardio.
And being around here, dude, I don't know. I always found myself in these situations, like even at school, kind of like I'd be the only white dude, like in black crowds. So like that was just kind of like something that.
So we grew up. We grew up super poor, and so we were always basically like in our area. We were the minority because we were one of the few white people in the areas that we would live that were poor, like because all the other white people were middle class.
Yeah.
So I like basically. Growing up, I always just kind of migrated towards minorities, just period, because I felt more comfortable.
All my friends are like mainly black,
and I talk a lot of shit.
Yeah,
and it
you
just
have
fits
to
better because when you talk shit to white people, they get really offended.
Yeah,
they
can handle it.
Yeah, but exactly, but when you feel a black crowd, they're like, oh, this fits. This is,
You do kind of have to like. No, black people are so cool.
Yeah,
bro. They're so cool, and I've always been able to like fit in more with that deal, but. I don't know, man. It's like, and they have like I remember going to the park. I got my first little like half sleeve. So like all of this was done and I was like still in high school, dude. And I remember going to the park to play basketball one day and all the black dudes was upset. They was like, man,
you could show up.
Yeah, because they'd have like sleeves and shit. You couldn't see it.
So when I first started tattooing, the first year and a half I tattooed, like 90% of my clients were black.
Yeah.
And so
that's different because you have to try to.
I thought I was better than I was. Like, because I couldn't see my mistakes. And then like I moved to an area where then I tattooed majority white people. And I was like, wow, that's really choppy. That doesn't look that good, you know? But yeah, I remember this one guy I tattooed and he was so dark. And I put the stencil on, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it at all. And he couldn't see it either. And he like looked at me. He was like, I trust you, man. It's fine. I was like, we're just gonna wing it. We're just gonna wing it. Yeah. I couldn't see nothing. I was just like, I put a bunch of stuff on him and like move the light. Trying to like, I was like trying to like see the stencil. It was so hard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is your skin tone. So yeah, okay. This is how we can land it. We'll talk about one last thing.
Yeah.
We could talk about, so skin has different texture, right? Lots of people have
with different texture, yeah.
As far as like old people's are thinner, right?
Yes,
like,
absolutely, yeah.
Then you have people that like Jessica was telling me like sunburns and then
tan a lot. Tan makes a big difference, yeah.
So, but that makes the skin
way harder to tattoo.
Way harder to tattoo.
Yeah.
What's the worst canvas?
Somebody who drinks a lot but not water.
Alcohol. I used to drink, so I've been sober for a while now. Well, I say a while, since January 1st, 2023, which is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
But from alcohol. And when all my tattoos, I was almost always like, I would stop drinking the day before and I thought I was doing something.
Yeah, but no, it keeps your blood thin. Yeah.
So I'm a big bleeder. Sometimes my shit would heal good. Mm-hmm. I think I haven't got a tattoo since I've been sober. Yeah. I feel like it ain't gonna hurt as bad. I don't know.
I don't know about like not hurt as bad, but you have to work harder. Like if people drink and their blood gets real thin, you have to work real hard to get it.
You
like
can tell.
100%. As soon as the needle hits them, you can tell. Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you're an alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Like, So I would say people that tan like excessively a lot are probably the hardest ones. Wow. Like it's really sun does a lot of damage to your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so glad you came.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
I'll think of more questions later. I'm going to be mad and ask you about the show or whatever. But I hope I didn't talk too much about the show. Like
No. Yeah. No.
But you're back in town here. I can have you back on again, right?
Yeah, I am back in town. Yeah, I am. I'm traveling the next 2 months to do shows, and I'll be in town like 1 week each month. But then after that, I'll be in like, now I'm starting to pick up like a lot of, like I've already picked up like 3 big sleeves that I started this last week. And people are talking about me a lot, like Cooper Tire and stuff like that. Like, and so I was like, oh, that's cool, And so
like you get in the factory stuff, like you get in Red River, your name going around right there.
And I also don't like, I I don't make people book a full day. I'm not like big on that. Like everybody has their own budget. Like, and just because one person can come and drop like $2,000. Oh no,
you do half days, or do you do any small tattoos, or do you do just
yeah. So when I was apprenticing, I got lucky, and the guy that I apprenticed under was very humble as far as like always trying to give to the community and stuff like that. And so he like really instilled in me that small tattoos can have just as big a meaning as a big tattoo. And you don't know how big of an impact that small tattoo will have in that person's life. It could be something super simple that means absolutely nothing to you, meaning-wise goes, or monetary-wise goes. But to that person, it can mean the world. Damn. And so I have tried to keep that mindset, you know, and now I told myself, no matter how good I get, never be above doing something small because it could be big.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, I had something I haven't thought about, because I don't think I've never got a small one. It's like every time I've ever showed up was like, hey, let's cover some real estate.
You know, some people, their only tattoo that they ever get is a small one. That small one.
And then sometimes people come up to me and they're like, look at this tattoo. Because like, you know, some people, and in my head, I'm like, look at this little ass tattoo. But I'm not thinking, like somehow you just cut a line on my head.
You know, exactly. Like
that's
the thing.
To them, like this big giant piano.
Could be huge. Could be huge to them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So Jason Elliot, back in Texarkana, the Gilded Anchor, right?
Gilded Anchor, yeah.
And you can they got to book you online, right?
Yeah, you can do it. Like, I prefer to talk to people one-on-one. I don't.
So you don't do a form or nothing?
No. I like to talk to people one-on-one. I don't like the intermediary.
Yeah.
I like to communicate with people. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Man, fuck. I enjoyed it.
Thanks,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Hell yeah. Man, for the channel, Joe Teel 180, the 180 creator interviews, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell to let you know when all the new videos drop. I appreciate any support. Man, more interviews coming. Trying to keep this up. Trying to give you 3 a week, and it's been great. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm doing cool stuff. So last thing I gotta tell you this, dude.
Yeah.
I had a wrestler come in here the other day. Yesterday.
I haven't seen that. Oh, yeah.
It's a local wrestler. Yeah, it's a local wrestler from here in town. He has like the Texarkana championship for the league that they have here.
Oh, okay.
And after the deal was over, he was like, I'm going to teach you how to chop. Like, you know how they cup their hands?
And they hit you really hard across the chest?
Yeah, so
he was trying it on me, though.
No, so he was like, you want to do it on me? And I'm like, yeah, cool.
Just do it?
Yeah, and so he cut the camera on, and we was like, yeah. So he taught me how to do it. He let me hit him twice. He was like, all right, now it's my turn. Is that okay? And the camera's rolling. I'm like, well, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, sure. We'll have to teach you how to tattoo.
He lit me up.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yes.
Oh, did
my titty was red for like 3 hours, dude. I'll show you the video here in just a second. I'll show you the video.
Damn.
So that's probably dropped before this one. Steve On Remsen, shout out to him. Man, it's just like the cool stuff that's happening.
Yeah. Maybe we can maybe we bring you in the shop and we'll teach you how to do a tattoo,
bro.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That would be cool as hell. I'll bring
not a good one, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'll draw it on my own leg. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
At this point. Yeah, stuff like that, dude. People have been giving me shirts, clothes. Bro,
do you want to print? I mean, I don't know if you like that kind of stuff, dude, but I got prints in the car. I just made them. So.
Oh, dude, I mean, yeah. I'll hang it up and put it in the scenery here.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, you like anime?
Yeah.
Do you like anime?
Yeah.
Oh, I love anime.
Yeah, and my brother just told me, he was like, I've been fighting it all these years, so this is like new. So I just watched like 8 of them. Like, cause I've been fighting.
What you watch?
I watched My Hero. Okay. I watched everything Dragon Ball. I watched Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, that's a good one.
I watched
The Brotherhood, right?
The Brotherhood. Oh, yes, okay. It's so good, dude.
Yeah.
And then I watched. I started Attack on Titan.
Oh, that's a good one.
I watched One Punch Man. I loved One Punch Man.
Oh, listen. Okay, so if you like One Punch Man, they made a new one, and it's called Mashal. And it's a Harry Potter and One Punch Man mixed together.
Oh, wow.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah.
It's super good.
Because I love One Punch Man. I loved how he was like nonchalantly just
Mashal is the exact same. It's exact same. Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's great.
Hell yeah. So, and food. That's the best people to interview. The food truck guys.
Wait, where was the food trucks at?
Where's
the good food in town? I have.
So if you want good food,
I want good food.
There's one guy, I had him on here, Big Slice. He's on New Boston Road.
It's like barbecue or what?
Well, he does like everything, dude. He does like burgers.
He's on New Boston?
New Boston Road, 82 over there.
He's a food truck?
Yeah, well, he goes out in the food truck on the weekend, but he has a restaurant.
What's the restaurant called?
Big Slice's
It's called
place.
Big Slice.
Yeah, Big Slice's place.
Okay.
Another guy I had on the podcast, Tyler Trout, Underground Pizza.
Okay.
That's the pizza.
I haven't heard of that one either. Okay, so pizza. Underground Pizza.
And he's on Arkansas Boulevard and on the corner of Arkansas Boulevard and Jefferson.
Near that burger place everybody goes to down there?
It's in the parking lot.
Oh, the same burger place?
He rents out that piece of grass by the corner.
Oh, he just makes the pizza out there?
Yeah, in a food truck.
I don't think I've ever had food truck pizza.
Oh my God.
I don't think I've ever heard of food truck pizza.
So I go to interview him and he shows up with 2 pizzas, dude.
Oh, no, he gave you
and I ate.
Were they good though?
Yes.
They were good?
No, they're so good.
Oh, really? Okay.
And now we're like friends. Like I was at his house last weekend. So now like I get pizza all the time from him. But like I made the mistake of eating this pizza before the interview. And the whole interview I was like,
oh yeah.
But no, that's man, but just this podcast stuff's so cool because I'm literally just hanging out with like cool ass people.
Yeah.
I've been having a blast, dude.
Yeah, because you get to pick like people like, they want to come on.
Right.
And
people want to come talk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, this shirt, like this is the shirt that one guy does. He has a clothing country, culture original.
I saw that one. I saw the clothing one.
Yeah, that's my boy Mackenzie Davis. Remsen gave me a shirt. I wore his on the next interview. So when the next guy showed up, I just put his shirt on.
So the wrestler one hasn't dropped yet, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's new, and I'm gonna put the clip on there too.
But you have to. Yeah, you gotta put it on there. Yeah.
I'm trying to work all this shit in, dude. But like. Dude, if you let me come to the shop and tattoo.
No, you can come to the shop. No, you can come to the shop and tattoo. I don't care. I'll talk to Mike about it. It's in his shop, but I'll talk to Mike about it. I don't think he's going to care. I think it'd be good.
I want to put a smiley face on
Do it. Yeah.
Like, even if the circle's not good at anything. I could just be like, check this out.
I got fake skin. So I'll let you run the machine on fake skin first just so you can hold it and kind of get an idea how it vibrates.
Yeah.
And then just go help
Come on, dude. I'm going to do a tattoo.
Do it. Yeah. Do it.
Oh man, bro! Thank you so much for coming through. I tried to end it. I'm so bad at ending these because I just keep going.
It's
appreciate
hard.
y'all. Tap in. We love you. Have a good day.